Hey guys, welcome back to Central City Barbecue. I'm Pitmaster James Cruz. I'm back in my home kitchen, and in this week's video, I'm cooking for you guys a Cajun Creole classic, Crawfish Etouffee, which translates to smothered crawfish. So I had some crawfish from Captain Sid's. That's some good friends of mine. Those guys have been selling fresh seafood and boiled seafood. It's some of the best you'll ever get around the New Orleans area. Go check those guys out. You can tell them I sent you. They might turn you away, but either way. So I had some crawfish from those guys, and this is what I have left over. Check these guys out. Great size, great color. They taste awesome. Well, what do you do with leftover crawfish? All kinds of things. I'm gonna make some crawfish etouffee. When I come right back, I'll show you guys how to peel them. That's very tricky unless you're from here. We'll be right back. All right guys, I said they were tricky, they're actually really not. All you have to do is grab a crawfish, remove the tail from the head. Just do this, twist it, pull it out. Squeeze the juices from the head. There's a lot of flavor in those juices, a lot of flavor in that fat. I'm using this bowl as trash. After that, you want to peel off the first, let's call it ring segment of the shell. Grab it right here, pinch the tail. Oh, that one broke on me. There's a tail. Get that shell, that leg out of there. Let's do another one. Squeeze. Squeeze the juice in there, peel it off. Peel the shell over the top, remove the tail, boom, drop it in. All right, let's do one more. This is all we're gonna do here is squeeze it. Here's your tail. There's your juice right there. Throw this in here. Peel the shell. Grab your tail. Squeeze it. Boom. That's all you have to do. I'm gonna peel all these right here. I might have a whole bowl full of tails. I'll be right back. Well, that was fun. I have no clue how long it took me. All I know is I have crawfish fat and juice all over my shirt, my arms, but hey, it was a good time. I ate a few of them. Look, I've got most of a bowl full of crawfish tails and its juice. The only thing left in this bowl is a handful of legs, and then this is just the heads. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna prep all the veggies. I'm gonna chop up everything. When I get back, I'm gonna show you what all was going into this etouffee and the measurements of everything. Be right back. Well, I've got all of my prep done. It really didn't take a whole lot of time. Let me go over everything we have here before we hit the stove. All right guys, now that you see most of the ingredients, we're gonna talk about the herbs and the other seasonings at the stove. I'll meet you over there in a second. All right guys, let's get started with the base of a blonde roux. Okay, so if you remember from the gumbo video, I like the 1.5 to 1 flour to oil ratio. This time, I'm actually going more butter. I'm going a 2 to 1 butter to flour ratio. So let's get this butter melting. Then we'll add our flour. Butter's melting, let's add the flour. And just like last time, let's keep this stuff moving. Actually, this time, I'm not gonna go as dark of a chocolate color as the gumbo. I'm going more of a caramel color this time. But the same rules apply. Keep it moving, get rid of those clumps. Now that the roux is the color that I want it, let's add the onions. That's actually gonna drop the temperature of the roux. I want these onions to caramelize. In fact, I'm even gonna drop the temperature of the stove for a second as well. All right, this is after about 4 or 5 minutes. You see these onions are actually starting to take on a little color. The roux is blending with that rendered, basically the water that the onions are releasing. So it's getting a little thick. Let's let this stir a little bit longer. In the meantime, over to my left, we got a handful of crawfish heads simmering in some water because I'm gonna have to add some water to this later on, so why not make it crawfish flavored? Now that the onions have, for the most part, rendered and they've got great color, let's add the rest of the veggies. It's all the veggies with the exception of the green onion tops and the garlic. Let's get that mixed in. We're gonna let that render down a little bit. We'll be back. All right, all the veggies have cooked down. They've rendered a little water. Time to add the garlic. Add that minced garlic to it now. We're gonna let this only cook for a couple minutes like this, and then we'll add a little liquid. All right, garlic is cooked. Add a little bit of that crawfish water. Get a couple ladles. I've got 2 ladles, so it's about a cup so far. Okay, what I want this to do now is I want this to cook. It's gonna thicken up a little bit. It's gonna mix it in with that flour, and once it gets thick, we're gonna add a little bit more. Let's add a little bit more. In fact, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and pour some in there. So add about another cup. Reduce the heat to low and let it simmer for a little bit. As you can see, it's thickened up a little bit more. Let's add about another cup of this crawfish water. And that should get us there. Let's let this get back up to temp. And once we get there, I'll show you the consistency I'm looking for. Then we'll add the crawfish. All right, this is really starting to get to the consistency that I like. At this point, here's the deal. If you got a little time, add it. Problem is, I've got too much time on my hands now. Too much time to think of that joke as well. All right, let's add some crawfish. Okay. Got a pound of crawfish going in. Mix all that in. Well, this is looking good. Let's add those green onions, but leave a little bit for garnish later. So, leave a little bit. Mix this in. Let's let it simmer for about 15 minutes. All right, mix it all together really good. Get all those green onions mixed in. If you notice, I haven't added any seasoning yet, so I'm going to let this simmer for about 15 minutes. I'm going to add 1 bay leaf to get that mixed in. Raise the heat to a simmer. Be right back. I love the consistency of this stuff right here. After it's been simmering for about 15 minutes. I also tasted it, and it does lack some seasoning. So these are the adjustments I'm making here. Half a teaspoon black pepper, 1/4 teaspoon cayenne, 1 teaspoon Cajunland with green onion. All right, let's mix all this together. I'm gonna let it go for about 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I'm gonna taste it again, and let's see where else I need to make an adjustment. Man, it's getting there. It just lacks a little bit more. It needs a hint more salt, maybe a little bit more bite, so I'm gonna go 1 more teaspoon of Cajunland, and that should do it. I've got some rice cooking over here, so we're very close to plating this stuff up. Be right back. Looks like we are done. This stuff looks and smells phenomenal. Let's plate it up. Now comes the fun part. This stuff looks and smells amazing. Look, I can't wait to dig in. Look at this. A nice big spoon. Got some extra long grain rice. An etouffee. Only in Louisiana. Be right back. Dude, that stuff is so good. Let me tell you how we got there. First thing I did was start with some really good, perfectly boiled crawfish from my friends over there at Captain Sid's. You guys follow them on Facebook. If you're in town, go get some crawfish from them. You got them live, you got them boiled. They've got all kinds of seafood there. Well, anyway, I peeled some crawfish. After that, we chopped up all of our veggies. I started a roux, got it to about caramel color. Then I started adding my onions, my other veggies, let it cook down a little bit. Had me a little crawfish water going on the side. Add some of that, get to the right consistency. Add our crawfish, had a little time on my hands, so I added some. Then after that, we just basically cooked it, let it simmer, you know, and then you adjust the seasonings as you go. Now, it depends on the spiciness of the crawfish. That's the reason why I didn't go ahead and give you some seasonings up front, because I didn't know what it was going to taste like at the time. So let it simmer for a little bit, taste it, and then you make your own adjustments. If you don't want it as spicy, don't make it as spicy. Add the right amount of salt. Well, guys, look, I really appreciate you guys following me every week. Follow the restaurant on social media. Look, we're always doing some nice things on Facebook and on Instagram. Follow myself, look, on Facebook, Instagram. Get back to me. I'll answer any questions you have. I'll give you any advice I can offer. Give me some suggestions. Until then, I'll see you next week.